we talked about speciation. Okay, so with that we now know that there are different kind of distinct species available in the world, okay, or on earth for that matter. All right, so now when we have so many different kind of species, the need there was a need to understand that how this different kind of species must have come into existence. What was the actual source of it? Okay, तो जैसे मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया कि मेंडल एक्सपेरिमेंट से और चार्ल्स डार्विन के एक्सपेरिमेंट से, किसी भी एक्सपेरिमेंट से ये नहीं पता चला था कि मतलब लाइफ फॉर्म्स कैसे चेंज हुए वो पता चला था, बट ये लाइफ एग्जिस्ट कैसे हुई अर्थ पे वो तो पता ही नहीं चला था. So to understand that, there is a need to understand the whole process of evolution and classification. All right. So when we study evolution with the help of classification, we can basically work out evolutionary relationships of the species that we see around. Now, the question here is, what do we mean by evolutionary relationships? All right, just a minute. So what do we mean by evolutionary relationships? See, for example, we say that we humans are evolved from monkey, right? So right now we are human, but at some point of time in past, like in distant past, we must have been looking like a monkey, okay? Means our ancestors, not we actually, our ancestors. So we need to sort of going backwards in time to understand the evolutionary relationship. When we say evolutionary relationship, मतलब present से past का relationship. तो हम जो हैं human beings, we are present, but at some point in time, our ancestors were looking like monkey. So we are basically trying to establish relationship. And this relationship is evolutionary relationship. If we try to think about what about monkeys, how they came into existence, then again we need to go backwards. Okay? So this evolutionary relationship is sort of going backwards in time. Means here, to establish evolutionary relationship, we sort of going backward. Okay? Now, when we go backward and then we come again in the present, we are sort of identifying hierarchies of the characteristics. मतलब जब हम मंकी थे या हमारे एंसेस्टर्स जब मंकी थे तो उनके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या थे, कैसे ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स डिफरेंट स्पीशीज में अलग थे, कैसे ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स चेंज हुए, तो ये सब जानने के लिए हमें एक क्लासिफिकेशन करना पड़ेगा. और ये क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स हमने ऑलरेडी क्लास 9th में पढ़ लिया है. ओके, so when we were studying about the different kingdom like plantae kingdom and animal kingdom, at that time we already studied this, but let's quickly review that again. So this is about evolutionary relationship. Now let's talk about this classification of organism. See, this when we try to establish a classification of organism, or when we try to identify the hierarchies of the characteristics, we are sort of looking at the differences and the similarities between the species as far as the characteristics are concerned. So characteristics में कौन सी species में similarities थी और कौन सी species में बहुत ज़्यादा difference था. अगर हम वो चीज स्टडी करते हैं तो हमारे लिए क्लासिफिकेशन करना इजी हो जाएगा, राइट? सो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, वी नो व्हाट इज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स नाउ. सो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आर डिटेल ऑफ अपीयरेंस और बिहेवियर. I have already told you about the characteristics and trait, the difference between characteristics and trait when we talked about it. So when we talk about characteristics, like we have 4 limbs, that's our character. Plants can do photosynthesis, that's their character, right? So there are different characteristics, but there are some basic characteristics that is shared by most of the organisms. Let's consider the requirement of food. Okay, now this requirement is one of the characteristics, and this is needed by most of the organisms, of course. So this is shared by most of us, be it animal, plant, or in animal if we talk about human beings also. So there are some basic characteristics that are shared by most of the organisms. Having said that, there are some characters which are not shared by the organisms. So let's study that now. See, we know that cell is the basic unit of life in all organisms. See, I'm talking about life, okay? So we are basically talking about any organisms in which life is there. And what is the basic unit of life? Of course, cell. So when we talk about cell, then we need to talk about different type of cells. So let's understand that now. Right. So when we know that the basic unit of life in all organism is cell, okay? And the characteristics in the next level of classification. So this is the basic level of classification. And if we talk about the next level of classification, then the characteristic in the next level of classification would be shared by most, but of course not all. So a basic characteristics of cell design that differs among different organisms is whether the cell has nucleus or not. Now if we talk about cell, there are again two types, that whether the cell has nucleus, that is with nucleus, or whether the cell is without nucleus. So the next level of the classification would be based on this. If the cell is with nucleus, we know that these kind of cells are called eukaryotic cells. And if the cell is without nucleus, then that type of cell is called prokaryotic cell, right? Now, if we further go ahead, like if you must have seen that, bacterial cells don't have nucleus, okay? So here, without nucleus, that is prokaryotic, in this category, we can put bacteria. While the cells of the most other organisms, they do have nucleus. So those organisms would be coming into this category. They will fall in this category. That is eukaryotic cells. Now, if we further go ahead with about the organisms with nucleated cells, okay, then again there is one more level. That is, if the organism has cell with nucleus, then whether there is one cell or more than one cell. So based on that, again there is one more classification, that is whether the organism is unicellular or multicellular. All right. So this will be the next category. Now this property, okay, whether the organism is unicellular or multicellular, this property basically marks a very basic difference in body design. मतलब इससे डिसाइड होता है कि किसी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म का बेसिक बॉडी डिजाइन कैसा होगा, ठीक है? Remember, at this level we are talking about basic body design, okay, not the complete outer look. Now, because of the specialization of the cell types and tissues, okay, this basic body design is decided at this level. Now, if we talk about multicellular organism, again, so if we talk about multicellular organisms, again, there are some organisms, they can do photosynthesis. We have seen this in Plantae kingdom. And there are some other organisms which can't do photosynthesis, and they fall into the category, under the category of Animalia, right? If we further classify Animalia, then there is next level, that in organisms which can't do photosynthesis, then there must be skeleton. And if the skeleton is existing, then whether the skeleton is inside the body of the organism or outside the body of the organism. Let's not understand this word body, because basically the whole skeleton is deciding the body. So let's just take it in this way, that whether the skeleton will be inside or outside. So if the skeleton is inside, those organisms would be having endoskeleton. We know that endo is within. And if the skeleton is outside, then those would be called exoskeleton. So again, this would be creating, or this would be deciding whether the skeleton is inside or outside, the basic difference between the body design. Now here we can talk about the actual look of the body. So we can see that even, in these few questions only that we have asked, a hierarchy is developing. So this is your hierarchy, see? So hierarchy is basically a flow chart kind of thing. So by asking these simple questions only, we have developed a hierarchy that allow us to make classification of groups, right? So this is how we can establish the hierarchy, by talking about whether some differences and similarities between the characters.